What's up, everybody? We're back. Hey! Hey! I feel like I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so how's everyone doing? Give me a status check in the comments. I'm feeling good, but busy. Lately, I've been in such a creative spirit, and it's probably because there's so much creatively happening around me. I saw Sinners twice. Go see that ASAP. I'm going to go see Kendrick. And Beyonce coming up. I'm really excited for both of those tours, and a lot of new music is coming out. So art and creativity is truly in the air, and because of that, it had me thinking about my own creative journey, and I ended up reflecting about some of the mistakes I think I've made in my earlier days. This video is a little bit more geared towards my TV, film, video people, but any creative could get something out of this. So let's dive in, and these are the 5 things you should avoid as a creative. Number 1. Not investing in proper storage. When my output of projects began to multiply, I began to realize that I couldn't just store everything on my computer anymore. I knew I needed a drive of some sort, but I wasn't sure which one to get. And instead of doing research to see what would be the best drive for me and the types of projects I do, I instead went with what I saw around me and in other people's videos, which was the orange lacy, the infamous orange lacy. I remember seeing my favorite YouTubers with them growing up, watching YouTube videos, so I figured, oh, well, if everyone has it, it must be good, right? Wrong. While it did good by me for some time, it eventually crashed and almost erased everything I had, which was very frightening. To be transparent, this can happen with any drive, right? But had I done my research, I would have learned that the lacy is an HDD, and what I should have got was an SSD, which are known to be more reliable and even faster. So I would definitely recommend that you research drives and see what's the best fit for you and the workload that you're about to take on within your creative journey. In addition to purchasing the right drive, I would also recommend backing up everything you do. This way, if you find yourself losing all of your data or assets on this one drive, at least you have a backup where you know it's safe. Number 2, not taking time to be organized with files and documents, etc. This mistake still haunts me to this day. I'm always super excited and eager to get a start on projects that I'm really passionate about. And I remember in my earlier days, I was running and ripping through projects, which was great. I definitely encourage every creative to put out as many ideas as you possibly can. However, what I should have been doing alongside running and ripping through these projects was developing some sort of organization system and naming convention. Obviously, this part is not as fun or glamorous as doing the actual art itself. However, your future self will thank you once it's time to go into post and you're editing and you're trying to find everything and everything is everywhere. It's even helpful for when you're trying to find things for later on. Like, let's say you want to reuse an asset in a different video that you used for your previous video, but because you don't have everything organized, you're trying to scatter and look, and it's too much, child. Too much. Having a scattered drive is just a nightmare, and I'm literally still cleaning up mine from when I used to do this. So take my advice. Create naming conventions and an organization system, folders and all. Number 3, not spending enough time learning and experimenting with lighting. Spend time learning lighting. I cannot stress this enough. In the beginning, I definitely knew the basics, the 3-point cube light, blah, 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 blah. But I really wish that I spent more time diving way deeper into the topic. And coupled with that learning is also experimenting with different lighting setups. Your goal does not have to be to work in the G&E department or to be an expert on all things lighting, but knowing how to bend and craft light to your liking will only give you A, good lighting, and B, also different types of lighting that tell different stories and add a layer of character to whatever you're capturing. Number 4. Being too worried about gear. This is a very popular one that I hear all the time, but I have to agree. You may be sick and tired of people saying, just use your iPhone has a good camera on it, blah, 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 blah. Or people saying not to worry about the cameras and the lighting and the microphone and this and that, right? I can understand that it's also especially frustrating and exhausting when the same people that are telling you not to worry about these things are using those things. Here's the truth of the matter. Is the Sony FX3 or a Canon C400 better than your iPhone camera? Absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. But okay, let's say you decide to wait until you have the camera. Let's say you're saving up for the Sony FX3, right? And let's say it takes you 6 months or about to save up for that camera. Okay, cool. Within those 6 months, it's very likely that you had ideas of things that you wanted to film or content that you wanted to produce, but maybe they all weren't evergreen. Maybe some of them were tied to a specific time period and now it's past, so it doesn't feel relevant to you to do anymore. Or maybe you had an idea, but then you saw someone else do it, and they kind of blew it up. Now you don't really want to do it. Or maybe those ideas just don't even feel right to do anymore, right? So now you have less ideas than what you may have started with. But hey, it's okay. At least you got the camera, right? But do you have a lens? And you're realizing now that for one project, you need a 15 to 35 millimeter. And then for the second one, you need a 70 to 200. And do you have a tripod, by the way, to put the camera on? And what about audio? Like, audio is 50% of the game. So now you're back into saving for every little piece of gear that you think you may need. And throughout all this time, one thing remains consistent. You still have made nothing. As silly or as corny as it may sound, the best thing you can do for yourself as a creative is simply just to create. Really just worry about getting your ideas out into the world. And trust me, along the way, you'll acquire the gear. You'll get the Sony FX3 with the 70 to 200 and the 15 to 35, but you have to give it time. I was personally hung up on this when I was toying around with the idea of having a creative career, but had I not started with what I had, I wouldn't have had such cool memories and fun experiences and the supportive community that I now have today. It's perfectly fine to aspire to have more, but flip your perspective. Instead of focusing too much on what you don't have and what you think you need, focus on what you do have right now in front of you and how to maximize it to its greatest capabilities to generate your ideas. Don't let not having all of the gear you desire be the barrier between your idea and a finished product. Last but not least, number 5, not promoting yourself or your work. Okay, so you've taken my advice all the way from number 1 to number 4. You got 2 drives. Everything's backed up on 2 drives. Organize, files, folders, the whole shebang. The lighting looks immaculate. You cannot believe how good it looks, and you look so crisp, and oh my gosh, you can't believe that you did this all off an iPhone, and it looks great, but now it's just in your drive, and nobody sees it. Hey, listen, if creating something and being scared to post it online was a crime, lock me up and throw away the key. I'm guilty, okay? I'm definitely guilty. It can be nerve-wracking to post yourself and what you do online for a multitude of reasons. People aren't always the sweetest online. You might be a little bit nervous to be vulnerable and put your business out on Fun Street. Or maybe you're just, I don't know, you just don't like the idea of it. To that I say, if your goal is just to make funny videos for you to watch as you're rubbing your feet at night under the covers so you can get a little giggle before you go to sleep, keep it in the drive. Keep it in the camera roll. Don't even worry about what I'm about to say. But if your goal is to inspire or help others or a community to possibly make a living off of this, to be taken seriously as a creative of the medium of your choice, or really anything that involves human connection or interaction, you might have to hit that upload and post button.
What? Hell no! Hell no!
You'd be doing yourself a serious disservice by not sharing the work that you're doing. How would you achieve any of those aforementioned goals if nobody knows who you are or what you do? Let's say you want to apply to a short film fund, but the judges don't know that you're a director, and they also don't know that you've done several short films in the past, let's say. Or maybe you're trying to go on a brand trip to, I don't know, Morocco with Neutrogena, but you're too nervous to post those get ready with me's that feature their product, and so they don't know who you are and that you love their products, and therefore you can't go to Morocco. Or maybe you want to inspire the youth in your community, or maybe just the overall youth, to consider the arts as a career path, But you can't even serve as representation because you're too scared to post yourself and your work online. We live in such a digital age right now that you'd be doing a huge disservice to yourself and your career and your journey by not sharing your work online. You never know how one post or one simple thing could positively alter your life or somebody else's. This is definitely something that I struggle with. I am not a very public person. Anyone who knows me personally knows I'm very private. I don't really share too much. So every time I have to do this or post something online, it's a little nerve wracking. I'll be honest. When I find myself getting into that headspace of being a little scared or nervous, I remind myself that doing this is helping to fulfill my purpose and goals. Another great way to probably help combat this is having a boundary of how much of yourself you're giving to the online space. And once you set that boundary of whatever feels right for you, challenge yourself, but within those restraints. If you can avoid these 5 things, you'll be on a much better route to success within your creative journey. And if you're a creative watching this video, let me know in the comments what medium you practice, and let me know some mistakes that you think you've made, or maybe advice that you give to other aspiring creatives out there. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!